All right, on today's 30-minute mechanic, we're gonna put these forks together, these YZ125 forks together. I got seals, I got seals. So we're gonna put them together and maybe slip them up in the bike and make that thing start looking more like a dirt bike again. So buckle up, let's go. All right, we got all our parts all cleaned up, and we're all ready to go back together with all this stuff. So got a little bit of our Stay Lube engine assembly stuff. We're gonna lube up a few things while we put them together. So let's see if we remember how these go together now. That guy, little cap. We cleaned up pretty nicely. Aluminum cap dude goes in there. Hey, wait a minute. Let's put just a little bit of sauce on these little sealing ring here. And then slide that dude down in there. Oh my gosh, really? I have no idea where that just went. Get out in there. Okay, that one's in. We'll just grab the other one, stick it in there. Yeah. I don't know where it went. Gonna need a paper towel to wipe my fingers on. Stash it right there. My handy dandy impactor. Got it going forwards. I was going to replace the copper sealing washers, but I didn't have any metric ones. All I had was Imperial, and they weren't the right size. So we got our aluminum piece in there. Let's see if we can slide that guy right down in there. I'm going to spin that around. Get my bolt down here. Find my handy dandy damper rod tool. Tuck that in there. Get that bolt started so I don't cross thread it. My little impactor. Zip them together. Amazingly, everything on my table did not fall off. All right. Should have lubed up the gum. Let's do that. I meant to lube up the end of the slider, and I just got ahead of myself. Let's back up since we have the tools. Since we have the super tool here where we can take things apart. I meant to put some SubLaws onto this. Just to make it, just to lube it up a little bit. Rag. Now, stick that back in there. Screw out of there. Start it again. Whack it with the impact. Whack. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that feels a lot better now. Move the tool out of the way. Then, let's see here. We got seal right there. We put our, which way does the seal go? Oh, that's funny looking. I gotta get my readers and take a closer look at this. I don't think the other seals were made like that. It's like a double lip, like the clutch side crankcase seal. I don't think the ones I put in those IT forks were made like that. Come on. Slip on. Oh gosh, really? And we are on. Wow, that dude fits really tight. Shove it on down. Really snugger than I thought it was. That's tighter than the other. Than the ones I put on that IT. I fit the tubes tighter. Wow. Holy cow. Dang, that's causes me some uncertainty there. But I guess if it's tight, it'll only get looser, right? And if it's loose, it'll never get tighter. So let's just kind of go with what we got here. And drive that thing down in there. Get our dust seal. It goes on top. Now see, that one went on a lot easier. It's biting my... Oh, interesting. These dust seals. Okay, we're going to have to do something here. Stuff is weird. Of course, you just buy seals off the internet, and they don't work like... Don't exactly fit the way the other stuff does. This has a lip here that's sitting on top of the tube, and the ones I took out went down in there and had the retaining clip on the top of them. So that begs me that begs the question: do see? That just plucks out of there. Begs the question, do I trim these off where they'll slip down inside there so I can put the clip on there? Or do I poke that seal back in there? Or do I just put the clip in and call it good? I think I'm going to see if I can find one of my old dust seals somewhere and compare it to the new dust seal. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Executive decision made. Now, of course, I ordered seals and dust seals. And this is the style the original one is. It has a metal top. And it's smaller in diameter. This kind sits down like that in the top of the slider. Now that's, you're like, well, yeah, that's okay. Well, that's not okay, because when you shove that seal in there, your retaining clip is just below that lip. So you shove that seal in there, boop, it shoves your retaining clip out. So these guys aren't going to work, and I considered trying to trim them up somehow and make them work. But then I just dug out the old, since these are just dust wipers, really. These aren't super soft anymore, but they still fit the tubes. So I've cleaned them up, and we're just gonna reuse our dust wipers, dust seals, whatever you want to call them, seal wiper. And if I have trouble with them, I will order some new ones, the proper ones. Come on, get in there. I may have to resort to getting a little hammer to tap on this. What did I do with the hammer? These guys fit pretty snug. And of course, I don't see my hammer. Never prepared. I'm never prepared. Of course, you put your tools up, that's where they'll be every time. Okay, so we're just going to tap. It's a true test of my seal driver here to see if it survives being hit with a hammer. And looks like it may need to go down. Oh, that one popped in. A little more on that side. Over here. Did that work? Almost. It clips in everywhere, but there's one little side over here. All right. Oh, cool. Yep, we're all seated now. Okay, that tube. Whew. Doesn't slide. I guess once it gets a few cycles on, it'll loosen up. Wow, that's not as easy to move as the other ones. Okay, moving on. One down. Wow, I'm all in disarray here. Got my $10 box knife or whatever there. I need to clean on this one a little more. Kind of disappointed there. I thought I had all the right parts. You know, I was talking about this being a double lip seal. Well, I pulled one of the old ones out, and it's kind of a double lip design too, but it doesn't have a spring. This one's got a spring on this side and a spring on this side, which kind of, I don't know, kind of cool, kind of weird. Find my bolt here. Bolt. Oh, I gotta get that aluminum piece I dropped. Now, I've come up with a new law of physics. It's called the law of under. So, the law of under states that if you're working in your garage or your shop and you drop something, it's always going to go under something. It's not going to land out here in the open where you can see it. It's going to fall under the table, or it's going to fall under the car, or it's going to fall under your buddy's 4Runner. It's never going to land where you can see it. Okay, so that's the law of under. And there's sub-laws under the law of under where it can't just fall just under the edge. It has to fall completely to the middle. Like if you got a car, you drop a bolt, it's going to go completely to the middle of the car. It won't be right there just under the edge of the car. So that's a sub-law. Now let's get some snoochie here. Lube that up just a hair. Slide that guy in the top. Come on, get in there. And then we'll a little snoochy. This stuff is awesome. I use this engine assembly lube. I use it building engines here in the shop, and a lot of guys have trouble. I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with dirt bikes, but a lot of guys have trouble with flat type of camshafts and V8 engines, knocking lobes off, trying to break them in and failing. And I've used this lube with great success in that category. Okay, get a bolt here. I'll be able to just screw it in. Who knows? Come on. What's going on? What in... I mean, really? I look in there, and this thing is sideways like that down in there. Gravy. I mean, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Okay, get the tool. 22 millimeter nut or 15/16. Either one works. All right. I did put the washer on there. Need that. That bolt has seen better days. I kind of go easy on it here. I mean, easy as you can with the impact. Set the tool down there. Okay, that works. That slides. That slides. Seal. Maybe to put the readers on. So I can see which side needs to be up. These seals fit a lot tighter. They fit a lot tighter than them other ones. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you know, like I said before, they're only going to get looser as time goes on. And we got our seal driver. We just smash that dude down in there. It looks pretty good. And we got our, make sure it's all clean feeling. Got our little dust wiper here. Does seal. Those actually still don't fit too bad. They fit pretty snug in there. Actually, need the hammer again. Now I could slide hammer that down on there, but I don't want to hit my seal driver on this lip and screw up the lip. So that's why I'm tucking it down in there and then just tapping it in with a hammer this time. Maybe that's far enough. Let's find out. And the little retaining clips, as we know, do a fine job of retaining. Looks like I may need to tap it a little more on that edge right there. It's not quite in there. Still not quite in there. In. Well, not 100%. We want those to pop out. Bloop. I think that's going to be okay. All right. Jiffy. Okay, that step is down. I can't believe those are wrong. Gosh. I mean, that's the trouble. Buying stuff on the internet. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's not right. So, okay, got some tubes here. Yep. Stand here. Look down at my mic. Guess what? My mic was off. Ran out of battery. Probably just heard me struggling. I don't really know. Struggling to get the fork tube up in there. So let's do this one now. All right, I was measuring to the top of the tubes. Move those. I set them to be 55 millimeters on the top of the tube, the top of the triple. These forks are a little longer. I don't know that I'll have trouble with them, the tire bottom and then the fender. So we'll just kind of have to play that by ear. If we have trouble with that, then we'll drop them down, you know, 10 millimeters at a time. Try to prevent that. But we're going to go ahead and tighten these dudes up. Gosh, those yellow boots look awesome. I love it when things go back together. It's like build a motor for your race car and you're putting all these parts together and it's finally coming together and looking like a motor again. I love it. Love it, love it. Torque, 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 and torque. Yeah, sure. All right, let's see if we can set the other side to 55. Set those down. It is at 40. We still got to go up with this one a little bit. Grab that. Oh, that's easy enough. This side slides. Slides easier. That's 50. That is 50 more. 50 too much. 55. I can't drive 55. Flip my hands here. These fork boots, I kind of like them, but man, they get dirty easy. Just rubbing on my hand, they kind of may not be ideal. What brand are these? Imgo Fork Gator. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Let's switch those on. I want the socket on the nut, not socket on the bolt. Torque. Torque. Man, oh man. Yeah, torqued. 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 Yep, we're good. Okay. Look, Ma, we got forks. I guess there's one more thing we need to rob off of the IT forks is the brake line. Just kind of crusty looking. It's very crusty looking. I should have shot them with paint, but whatever. Hey, maybe if I flip them around. Yeah, I'll flip them around the other direction. Put the crusty side towards the tire and put the non-crusty side out. That was pretty genius. And then we can just pull this guy right up here about where it was. Find a screwdriver. Do the clampy clamp. Maybe right in front of the camera. The law of under, right there. It just happened. Dropped my screwdriver. There's all sorts of open floor here. It went right under the cart. It is a law of physics. And it is under the middle. Some people might say, well, that's entropy. Well, no, it's the law of under. Because I say so. And because I'm making it up. Tighten, tighten. Man, that's looking more like a dirt bike. Let me wipe my hands off. Got some clamps here that go on there. It actually came with zip ties too for the top of the tube up here. So we'll see if we can put a zippy tie on there without getting everything so filthy. I need a pliers. Pliers, pliers. Pliers. There. Zipped. Let's undo that. See if that'll pull up just a little more. Ooh, yeah. And then down here, what was that? So I can back this off enough to, let's see, let's be smart about this. Clamp. Let's put the clamp on the back side of the tube. It will not work that way. What I should do is grab my little tool here. That is not the right size, of course. Black socket. These little 1/4-inch impacts sure are handy. I mean, they don't put out a lot of power. They don't have a lot of power, but they sure make it easy to zip things down if you need a spare hand. Just like that. Come on. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Now unspin that one. And I'm going to get my zip tie and my pliers. Man. I was talking to my dad. He was like, "Hey, you want that fork oil?" And I was like, "Fork oil from 1983, or the last time I did forks on a bike, fork seals?" He's like, "Yeah, I still have it." I was like, "Gosh, can't believe it." Well, yeah, actually, I can believe it. Oh yeah. So I said, "Sure, I'll take that fork oil. It may even be Yamaha. I don't even know if it is or not." Oh, look at that. That's making the IT look like an IT now. The only other thing that would make it look more like an IT is the blue hand guards. I'll probably have to find a source for those too. I think that one company sells a blue hand guard that, it's the company I had trouble getting seals from. I mean, not seals, but gaskets. So I don't know if I want to mess with those guys again. Maybe. Trying not to use company names, but I'm sure that's not the right size. I'm sure if you're into this stuff, vintage motorcycles, you probably know who I'm talking about. They make lots of plastic. Oh my gosh. How many That's it. 8. That's 8. What am I looking for? 10? How many times am I have to go over here and get a socket? There it is. $10. Crud. I'm going to take it all the way off. And like I said, I have a 125 axle. I'm going to stick the IT axle through there just for grins. Now it's not gonna. The difference is, the IT axle has this arm on here. It's a quick change deal. So you just loosen the pinch bolts over here and take the nut off. Has a cotter pin that holds the nut. Zoop, whip it out. The Y, which I don't really know that's any quicker than the YZ style. The YZ just has a nut end on there, and this part just threads in. So whatever. I mean, whatever, Yamaha. I don't understand you. But I am just going to stick that in there. So you won't even, can't even, well, it went on a little bit. It caught a couple of threads. There. Put that back in my bucket. Oh boy. Oh boy. That makes a guy feel good. Okay, I decided to show you one last little thing here. Make sure my mic's on. You've noticed that the end of the crank, all this stuff has been exposed to weather, and I guess it was because they took the stator off and the flywheel off and stuff. Now this stuff, I think somebody has sourced it because it's got yellow paint where it said IT175, and you can see the flywheel. So I think the previous owner, the guy I bought it from, I think he started buying a few parts to put this thing back together. So I have this. I have no idea if it's any good. I don't really have any idea how to check it. I may have to do some research on how to check it, but I believe it's the right part for this bike. But I mean, it seems to want to fit in and do all the things. So, and I believe that's the right deal. And I got a nut for the flywheel and the washer and both washers and the flywheel and the nut. So that's, hopefully the ignition stuff will work on this. I don't know. Fingers crossed. So here we go. All right. That's going to do it for 30-Minute Mechanic today. Got our YZ125 forks all put back together, seals on. You know, we kind of had some weirdness with the dust seals that, I mean, we were waiting for dust seals and then they turned out to be the wrong kind, but whatever. I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes the stuff doesn't fit like you want it to. But anyways, forks are in, got the height set, got them yellow fork boots on there. Those are going to get super dirty because I don't know why, but you touch them and they get smudges on them. So I'm going to try to keep them as clean as I can, but you know, they could be black. So that does it for today. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, ring the bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye.